I always seem to talk about underrated films on this channel, but let's talk about underrated personalities in Tamil cinema. Now, these individuals have accomplished a lot in their careers, but for some odd reason, are not as recognized or as celebrated as some other individuals in Tamil cinema. Now, obviously, in the cinematic universe, it's very hard to attain a certain type of stardom. Not everyone can be the number one person in their field. But I feel like these individuals deserve a lot more acclaim and recognition for their work. So here are my picks for the most underrated personalities in Tamil cinema. A lot of people know Ravina Ravi now because of her character in Love Today, but she is an immense contributor to Tamil cinema in terms of the dubbing artist industry. She is one of the premier dubbing artists in Tamil cinema, and if you look at all the major actresses in Tamil cinema, she's probably dubbed for them. Look at her filmography. It's actually insane how she changes her voice from each actress to the other. And of course, she's one of the most underrated talents because of that. As a cinematographer, Rajiv Menon is one of the most amazing cinematographers that Tamil cinema has ever seen in the last 30 years or so. But as a director, he's supremely underrated in my personal opinion. He's directed films like Minsara Kanavu, Kandukondain, and also Sarvam Talamayam. Now, when he's directed those kind of movies, I feel like he should be more well known as a director, but I feel like he's very underrated in that department. As a cinematographer, legend. As a director, I feel a little bit too underrated to my liking. Director Ram deserves more praise and more accolades for his work that he's done so far in his career. He's one of the best directors in Tamil cinema, but for some odd reason, I feel like his work doesn't achieve the same critical acclaim as other directors that kind of direct the same type of stories as him. And I feel like maybe with his next film that's coming out later on this year, he might attain that fame and accolades that he deserves, but I feel like he's a little too underrated. Pradeep Kumar, you probably don't know him visually, but you know his voice. You know his voice if you hear his songs. He has one of the best voices in Tamil cinema. He's one of the best singers in Tamil cinema. He's sung some of the best melodies in the last 10 years or so, but yet he's not as famous as some other singers out there. I feel like he deserves a lot more fame and a lot more accolades because he has an incredible voice, an incredible talent, and he deserves more recognition. If you don't know who he is, just search up his name on YouTube. You'll see all the songs he's sung, and you will know exactly who this person is, and he deserves a lot more praise for his work. Staying within the musical realm, Dipu Ninan Thomas is another person that I feel deserves more fame and accolades for his work. He is an incredible musician. He's done some of the best melodies in the last 5 years or so. YouTube his name and you'll see what songs he has musically composed for. He is a talented individual. He's actually worked with Pradeep as well. And you will know one song in particular that came out a couple of years ago that everyone was playing and still is playing till this day. And yeah, I feel like he deserves a lot more fame for what he's accomplished in his career so far. Mr. Lingusamy. Now, a lot of people have made fun of Lingusamy because of that infamous interview that he did for Anjan. And it sucks because obviously he's a very talented individual in terms of direction. He's directed some of the most interesting and entertaining commercial films the last 20 years or so. And he helped change some people's images. Like, for example, he changed Karthi's image from being this like rugged kind of like rough exterior actor to becoming this like romantic hero with Paya. And with Run, he helped make Madhavan go from being a romantic hero to being an action hero. He's done that many times, and his movies have great music in them. They're very fun to watch. But yeah, since Anjan, his career got derailed, but I feel like he deserves a lot more credit and praise for what he's done. And he's also a good producer too. He produced films like Rajini Murugan and some other very good dramas too. So yeah, he deserves a little more credit and less jokes, in my personal opinion. Actor Prasanna. Prasanna is one of the most interesting individuals in Tamil cinema because he made it without any sort of connections. His mom, dad, or relatives were not in Tamil cinema. He paved a way within the industry and made some hits just off of his talent alone. That is very commendable. And I feel like he deserves a lot more credit because he's done a lot of good movies in his career. If you look at his filmography, he's done some really solid work. And he's done some very likable movies too. He can be a villain. He can be a romantic hero. He could be a dramatic hero. I really like his acting. I think he's very natural in his presence and his delivery. And I feel like he deserves a lot more credit for what he's accomplished in his career. And I hope I see more of him in the future. Lyricist Thamare. Now, Thamare is one of my favorite lyricists of all time. Her poetry in her lyrics are so beautiful, and she's very smart. She actually has a trademark within her lyrics. If you ever listen to any of the songs she's written, she always adds in her name, Thamare, into the lyrics. And it's very unique and very interesting how she did it without making it forceful. I think she is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful writer in terms of Tamil lyrics. I think she knows her way around in terms of writing great poetry in those lyrics, and she deserves a lot more credit. Obviously, she's worked with Gautam Menon a lot, and she's worked with all the premier music directors, but I feel like she deserves way more credit for what she's accomplished in Tamil cinema. Look at every single melody in the last 25 years or so. She has written some of the best melodies, some of the best romantic songs that Tamil cinema has ever heard, and yet I feel like she is underrated. She deserves to be more recognized for her work. Shreyas Krishna is not a household name, but he's a very talented individual in the cinematography field, and he's done the visual work for some very visually striking films such as Jil Jung Juk, Jagame Tandiram, and also Mahan. His eye for the camera is very, very distinct and very, very good. I hope he gets more opportunities and more praise for the films that he's done, because he is one of the best young cinematographers in Tamil cinema right now. Aditi Rao Haidari. I have a massive crush on this woman. I'm unapologetically saying that out loud. She is so beautiful. And she's one of my favorite Tamil cinema actresses right now in this current generation and the current crop of performers in Tamil cinema right now. She had one of the best debut lead actresses roles in the last 7 years or so with Kachu Verliere. That was one of the most heartbreakingly sad roles I've seen in the last decade or so in terms of a Tamil cinema actress performing that kind of role. Her eyes speak a lot, and that role alone made me convinced that she was going to get a lot more opportunities, but sadly not. I think she's doing a couple movies soon, but yeah, she deserves a lot more movie roles in Tamil cinema. I know she does a lot of Hindi right now, but I feel like she needs to be back in Tamil cinema because she had one of the best roles in the last 7 or 8 years in terms of portraying sadness. And I hope she gets more opportunities because, yeah, I would love to see her in movies again. Siddharth is one of my favorite actors in Tamil cinema in this generation and in general too. I think he's a very talented individual. If you did not know this, he was actually assistant director to Maniratnam during the making of Kannathil Muthamattal. And through that, he got the opportunity to work with Shankar for Boys. And, he's also a singer. He's also, I think he's a lyricist. I don't know if he did lyrics for a song or helped with the lyrics for a song. I'm not too sure. But yeah, he's a very talented individual. He's a very underrated actor too. His performance in Kavya Talivan is one of the best performances in the last decade or so. He is super underrated and he deserves a lot more opportunities because, again, this guy does not age. This guy is such a naturalistic actor, and I feel like he has a good understanding of cinema. And fun fact, I actually asked this as one of my quiz questions back in a couple of weeks ago. He actually auditioned for Interstellar, so he's made the rounds. He's made success and everything, but I feel like he deserves a little more. And I hope this year he gets a lot more opportunities because, again, super talented guy, and he deserves a lot more praise. Everyone knows MS Bhaskar, but I feel like he's very underrated. And I feel like he could be like the new Prakash Raj in terms of the supporting actor role in Tamil cinema. I feel like he's super talented. If you've seen a movie called Erte Thotakal, he's excellent in that movie. And I feel like if he did more roles like that, rather than just silly comedic side piece roles, I feel like he would be an excellent Prakash Raj-like supporting actor in Tamil cinema. And I feel like he deserves a lot more praise for what he's accomplished. If I had to compare Anjali to one person in cinema, I would say it's Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank won 2 Academy Awards, yet she is not as well known as some other actresses who never have won or even won 1 Academy Award. Anjali has won 2 Filmfare Awards, back to back actually, and she is one of the best actresses in Tamil cinema. Yet for some odd reason, she doesn't get a lot of movies. She's super talented and I feel like she deserves a lot more for what she's accomplished. And I feel like, again, one of the premier actresses of her time. And if she deserves a lot more praise.